we got to have amazing time with family here in Denver. Um, I just, a lot of hard times with family sometimes. Family can be very difficult, but at the same time,
Very
family
difficult.
family is the way, and so uh, we get a lot of interesting things with family. So one of the things that we hope that comes with family is being able to see, you know, they're able to see and understand what you have going on. Um, and so when that's happening, it's really fun. When your family is there, part of what you're building, what you're doing. um, I think one of the hardest things for me, in Web3, isn't necessarily explaining what I'm doing, um, but having that belief and faith from family. And so uh, I really like the fact that I get a lot of support from my family. I know that's not always the case for everyone, um, and that can be sort of hard for some people, um, but it is one of those things to where it's an ongoing issue because it's always changing. The news talks about it always in one aspect and one aspect only. We think that it's like that, uh, they wonder what, oh, why is that? Um, they wonder what's going to be next. And so when family sort of doesn't have a chance to really understand what's going on, um, they have a hard time, um, just sort of being part of it. But what's really cool is when you're able to get them involved, so um, that that when they know what's going on, it's really a hard thing to sort of go on. We have Who Said It 23 joining us, Mr. Sir. Uh, as you're joining us out from Twitter, we just are shouting out to all our Xenon family, YouTube, like, subscribe, comment. Mr. Sir, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Taco?
Oh man, it is a great day.
Hey, it's a great bear market, I should say. But I'm here, man. It's good to see somebody's still here streaming.
Oh man,
It's a little
yeah.
it's a little echo chambery over on my side of things. So I figured, hey, I'll stop in and see what Taco's talking about.
Not Taco's not talking about a lot today. There's been a lot of interesting stuff with building out with Asset Dash and building an education platform piece. Um, and so then the next step is really like, man, I guess fighting over which order the slides are in. Like those are the hard things right now.
So you're doing the educational aspect of things.
Yeah, a little bit.
Is
So
that correct?
yeah, I'm doing it. I do business dev. I do biz dev for a lot of projects, but this is one to where there's a lot of stuff growing in the Zen ecosystem, and so I wanted to do something that was for the Zen ecosystem, but wasn't another token, but it got more people onboarded. And
For
so
sure. That's the most important. Fuck, that's almost more important than Zen itself.
yeah, and so Eskimo and I partnered with Asset Dash, and so they have, on statistics, 60,000 daily active users, and they have over 13,000 people taking their little learn to earn courses. And so let's say we just spark 10% of those and get 1,000 new people into Zen. I don't know. A successful community can survive and thrive on 200 people. What can another 1,000 do?
For sure, man. For sure.
So
Yeah, I didn't know if you were in Zen at all. have you talked to Coach? I know Coach is doing some kind of education too for some.
I have
whatever he's.
I have not. No. I've been in Zen since before day one.
I think I talked to you, but I didn't. With all these, I think I talked to you a few times, but this is mystery. If you remember me by that name, I kept getting all these bots following me, so I just started unfollowing a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
But Coach is hooked up with some kind of I think he's getting paid to teach about Zen. It could be wrong, but you might want to link up with him and see what he's got going on, and see if you can get some kind of partnership going where you guys can either work on something together and then both just take it your separate directions, or cross-pollinate, or whatever.
Start a. I'm always down to collaborate. Start a group chat with us on Twitter. And then that way, what you're thinking in your head can be explained at once, and and what we're doing and Coach is doing, we can just all put it out there. Because man, it's sort of, I don't know, if you go to Sunday services by Simple Waters and stuff like that, and shout out to Crypto Krill and Dustin for joining us as well, and Zen UK and 0x Degens. But we're talking about Zen right now as one of the many things that we're talking about, and we've sort of, I got to break a chain with Zen. That makes me happy. And Zen's going to be coming on base soon, and so introduced Jack and Sun Tzu to Jesse Pollock to look at some community dev stuff there as well. So yeah, it's a good day. What up? How are you doing?
Doing fantastic. I'm actually kicking it with Dustin right now.
Oh, my polka dot family. How are you?
Fantastic.
Yeah. Have you? Okay. So meta is all around today of what's the hot topics. Have you guys gotten into friend tech?
No, I have not.
We were just talking about that earlier.
So the liquidity pool function of that stuff is really cool. I like the tech idea. Everyone's crying about the UI. I'm like, have you guys looked at Curve's UI? Have you guys tried out the Polkadot.js wallet? Mystery, when I get a new invite code, I will send it to you.
I haven't. I'm straight wrecked, for sure wrecked like a mofo, because I've been sitting on Twitter for nonstop with Zen, and I was just selling my hex divs, and I basically murdered my hex account when I heard about Zen, and overinvested in Zen, and now I'm just like, oh shit, I gotta go get a job. So I haven't been on much lately.
Oh man, have you been doing any of the Zen derivatives like DB Zen or some? Yeah.
I mean, I could sell, if I have to, I'll have to sell some of it. Just not that I want to, but
yeah.
I just want to hang on to every last Zen that I can and keep minting and shit like that. So
yeah, I'm
trying to
keep
myself going.
You can ask Crypto Krill, Big J. What did Zen do to Moonbeam?
It clogged up the block space. So now they're going to try to clog it up on base.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. And
it's probably pretty centralized, though, don't you think?
No, Coinbase is. I'm giving Coinbase props. Coinbase is going out of their way with Base, and I think that they're trying to keep a decentralized arm that they're hopefully so that way they have a direct access to DeFi. So that if regulations do come up later on, banning future DeFi, how that always happens in going of things is things are grandfathered in. So if Coinbase already has DeFi going, just like Kronos for crypto.com, So I think there's some cool stuff there.
It's gonna be interesting what's going on with Base. Still very early on, but I'm excited to see what comes out of it.
Yeah. Has Perps launched yet? So just for everyone knows that doesn't know, Crypto Krill is my mortal enemy and one of my good friends. Not best friend, because he's hanging out with Dustin and not me. But he helps run my competition swap on Moonbeam. I am Stella Swap in and out, I think. And what is your swap's name again?
Beam Swap.
Beam Swap, that's right.
It would have been a lot funnier if it was Beam Swap.
It would have. There is Bean Swap though. Or no, Moonbeams. Moonbeams. I like Moonbeams. Tofu, I think, has a better UI, but it's too bright for my eyes, my Degen eyes.
I love the dark layout of Moonbeams. I love actually what they're doing. They just had some good announcements today. But yeah, love the Moonbeams team. They're great.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I know the next best scam. If I were to be a scammer, I hope nobody listens to this and takes this idea, even though I'm not going to do it. A swap that supposedly reads your mind, and then all it does is just drains your wallet. It's like, yeah, we're just going to wreck you for you. Don't swap. Just hold your damn coins. Like.
Well, no. What would be funny is if it wrecks you and drains your wallet, but then it puts that into like a vault, and like a year later, it just sends it to you magically. Like, you thought you got drained, but really, you got mine.
Basically, it's a swap that's saving you from yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. and would just invest in, like, somebody would just set it up to invest like 1/10 of your crypto into projects they think are legitimate, almost like it drains you and then just like becomes somebody's ETF that actually, has an eye for finding projects that have long-term value. It would be set up algorithmically so that it'd be like, no, you got rugged, but someday this swap may send your address back some shit.
I don't think you even tell anyone that. You just just a lot of hype, and then everyone approves all the transfers and approves everything because there's a mad airdrop coming, and boom, shakalaka.
Yeah, you're just gonna wake up to a bunch of friend.tech 2.0.
Yes. You're just gonna wake up to somebody at your door ready to kill you. if you made that.
Oh, my people dumped on me the other day. They just bought more and dumped it.
I feel like friend swap is just there to just like ruin your faith in your friendships. It's just like, dude, I thought we were friends. Like, that's all you're gonna see on Twitter in the future is just advertisements, people engagement farming, and then you're gonna have people that you would normally talk to on Twitter about like real projects and stuff you like, and then they dump your wallet, and you're just gonna be like, what is life? They dump your key, and you're just gonna be like, nobody loves me.
Yeah. I don't know. I just gave some alpha to my holders, and I airdropped them. I airdropped some that gave me their soul wallet. That I dropped them some secret token that's got some alpha coming on it. And then I also then airdropped them. invite code for the BR1 beta testing, and then I'm working out a deal with Bravo Ready that anyone that has my key, what up TJ? That anyone that has my key gets some special perks.
Like Percocet?
Yeah.
How about that poor pleb?
Oh man, the biggest PP on chain with no utility.
Chinese dick job.
Hey, you know what I'm frustrated with poor pleb, because now I can't say they don't have any utility because they built a 9-inch dex.
9-inch dex.
Yeah.
How's that working?
It is going good. Hexy Bastards in Dubai securing some partnerships for some stuff. I connected him with some cool people out there as well. So he could get introduced to some even awesomer people. And then let's see here. What else? I think there's some cool stuff coming out there. But I love that the staking token is BBC. And instead of withdraw button, it's a pull out button.
So is the incentive token a skeet token?
I think the incentive token is BBC.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I fucking aped in hard early on Pulse Chain, and I was sorting through, like, I minted out, let's just say, an ungodly amount of PZen. And I'm sorting through my wallets tonight. And
yeah.
I do it like maybe 2-3 times a week typically. I haven't as much lately. But like earlier this month, I knew I had stuff coming out. And like, I think I claimed one, and I saw a whole bunch of other ones that it said I had to claim. Well, I kept like sorting my wallet and going through them one at a time. And they said they just like disappeared. So I got wrecked for some reason or another, they showed up tonight, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on with Zen and ZenFTs? Because I had like a bunch of wallets that aren't even worth claiming anymore, or a bunch of ZenFTs that aren't even worth claiming anymore because I missed them by overtime. And that, like, I thought maybe I was just crazy when I couldn't find them. I'm like, what the hell? And, you know, I had a ton of ZenFTs, but yeah, I'm pissed that whether it's the site or whether it's Pulse Chain, I don't know, but I'm mad at somebody because I couldn't find them, and then all of a sudden now they show up after they're totally penalized.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I found is that, like, through using like coin tools or the DBZen and stuff like that, or some of the other protocols, they give you a bad RPC, and that sometimes makes things disappear. So that's the only thing that I've sort of seen.
Yeah, it was just the whatever RPC switching over to Pulse Chain is through Zen.network.
Yeah.
And it's NFTs, so it's not like it's coin tools or anything like that. It's Zen.network, and I switched to it with Zen.network. It's more or less like sifting through it. It's like it's not indexing everything properly or something. Like it's overloading the.
How many ZenFTs do you have in that wallet?
600.
I'm trying to think if that's causing an issue. I know some people were finding an issue with large amounts.
Yeah. I just didn't. By the time people said they were having problems with it, I had already minted them, and so I minted them really early. And I'm watching Pulse Chain just fucking tank, and I'm like, fuck, I should have sold it. Like, I sold like half my bag when it came out, and then minted the rest. And I'm like, that's a pretty good hedge. I think that'll get me more pulse.
Yeah.
But the gas was super high then, and I'm just like, fuck, I'm so wrecked on pulse chain and Zen. Like, I should have just fucking.
Did you get Did you get any of that P dye action?
I threw like $10 in it.
So this is the thing. I bought. I spent like 1,000 PLS back when Pulse, the day Pulse launched, and I got like 4,000 WETH. And then from that, I switched like 2,000 of it into like, 4,000 dye or something like that. It was like almost at a 1-for-1 or something crazy stupid at the time. So yeah. And then I just traded that out for like half of that for like 50,000 P dye, or traded that out for 50,000 PLS. So, you know, it's a nice little 50x.
Wait, what? What did you do? I don't understand.
So when P dye first, when Pulse Chain first launched, P dye had zero weight to it. So I got, and then same thing with Wrapped ETH. So I got a bunch of it for super cheap. And so I spent like 1,000 PLS.
Like 50,000 out of it.
Yep.
But that's still like fucking 40 cents or some shit like that, right?
For now.
What event are we going to next?
We are going to permissionless next.
Oh man, I thought about going to permissionless too.
I was about to go to Rare Evo, but that changed last second.
So how long have you been in crypto, Taco?
What is that in DJ news?
4 cycles.
5 lifetimes.
You know,
This guy should have killed himself like 10 times by now. He must be doing something right.
1,400 Bitcoin in my life, maybe.
Damn. Yeah, I was looking at Bitcoin at 50, probably like just under. And like, who do these people think they are? Charging almost $1 for one of these fake coins. And I tried to buy it or get a hold of it somehow to buy weed off the internet.
Yeah.
And my bank rejected it as fraud. And I'm like, and Peter Stiff was like, oh, Bitcoin, scam, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, they think it's worth almost $1. What a joke. And then forgot about it till like 2013, 2014, and was on these like forums and shit asking about it, where nobody had ever heard of it. It was like guys on these like, I'm like, where can I find out about this stuff? So I'm like looking up genius level IQ, like guys on forums that were saying they were geniuses. I'm like, all right, if you're so smart, what is Bitcoin? How does it work? And is it going to be the new world reserve currency? And is it a Trojan horse? And it just like killed the thread. Like the guy was like, you know, answering questions and like, you know, bragging about how smart he was. And I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? And it just, the thread died. Nobody ever said anything about it. And I'm like, I got on Twitter with the same username that I posted on that website with, and like I had people like there's some crazy like gaslighting, like stalky shit. People must have thought that I had a ton of Bitcoin, because when I finally got around to being like, why would anybody like be like stalking me like this? I googled my name on like my Twitter name, and it showed me that forum post where I was asking about Bitcoin when it was like what, probably $200-300 then. And so I assumed that somebody thought that I had a fuck ton of Bitcoin when I never bought it until I've been looking at it, but I was very like skeptical of it because I just didn't have enough of the picture to understand why it would be needed with the current, economic shit going on. Part of me thinks I bought it when I was fucked up and I just don't remember it. I don't even want to think about it because it's just would be too much for me to not have kept track of it.
Yeah.
Or lost it.
Well, that's the good thing. Guess what? In this space, there's always opportunity somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What opportunities coming up on Beam Swap?
Well, I mean, we just launched BMX 2 months ago, and our stats are at 10 million in trading volume on the perps.
Nice. What perps do you got going right now?
So right now, people can long and short Bitcoin, Ethereum, DOT, and Glimmer.
By how many X?
How many X? Oh, you can use up to 50X leverage.
Oh,
Shit.
see, I'm a 200X or nothing type of guy.
I don't know how to trade, so I don't even.
So then it sounds like you might actually win at this.
Well, like I know that I don't know how to trade because none of it. Like I've tried to look into it and all the like multiple different methods, and I'm like, I just feel like there's a fucking AI bot on the other side that's like, so you think you can trade?
Let me show you not.
Yeah, that should be a meme. Like, people, like they, America's Got Talent and shit. It should just be a bunch of cyborgs sitting. Degen comes on stage and they're like, so you think you can trade? It just shows him just getting shot by robots. The bots are always smarter than you.
Okay. What
So you guys,
maybe I'll come do that.
you guys are big Moonbeam and Solana guys.
Well, everyone sort of knows I'm chain agnostic. My heart, my family's on Moonbeam. I have a ton of love on Solana because I think, me personally, I think there's a lot going on there, infrastructure wise. But I just think you gotta, as sellout as this seems, you have to go where they're building. Like you can go have some. You can have some degenic fun over on Doge chain if you really want, or ETH POW, but there's nothing being built over there, so you really can't partake in anything in the future.
Yeah, no, I was telling the guys earlier, I'm like, I've only got money for when they fork Frentech onto ETH POW.
Yeah.
Like, I've got ETH POW money right now, guys. Come on, wait till I get a job.
Yeah, no, I just like, I don't know. I'm bullish on all of it. Frentech, talked a lot about it, today, and what some of the ideas of how we could then take the keys, people's keys, and make liquidity pools with those, so you could then trade. So if they're at their value, like you go in with a key that's worth $5, you get sort of the $5 equivalent worth of keys in a way. You know, so if there's like 2 keys that are worth $2.50, you get 2 keys. So then you're trading with you're getting stuff people you don't even know.
Mm-hmm. The only problem is like the thing I was concerned with about Friend Tech is like I know how many like people out there are just like we were talking about this earlier in one of the other chats. It's like say I'm fucking Brian Armstrong and I know this Twitter tech Friend Tech is coming out. You could set up a bunch of engagement farming bots to get enough followers on Twitter that when you release Friend Tech, people would assume that like somebody is actually a very valuable person within the crypto community, but they amassed followers through engagement farming and ChatGPT generated tweets, which have all been scheduled. And then when Friend Tech comes out, they can literally fucking, you know, bots, and you can just set a bot up to just basically when somebody buys that one key, they buy another key and then they dump on you. Like I just feel like it can be manipulated so fast and with bots and how we don't know who is real unless you're in Twitter spaces and shit.
Yeah.
And you're talking to somebody, you don't know who's a real influencer on Twitter. And it's not that the big guys are likely bots. There's enough small guys that I've seen proliferate over the last couple years that offer zero value, but they're just pushed so well that they would be such an easy thing for somebody to farm, like Twitter to farm before the average person caught on. Because you know, there's a guy named Boring Sleuth, I think it is.
Yeah, I know. I will be honest. I am not a fan of Boring Sleuth.
I mean, I'm not saying I don't know that I can't confirm any of his findings, but like, would it surprise you if Twitter was associated with pump and dumps?
Oh, I would not be surprised in the slightest.
Right. So
you know,
like I get what you guys are saying. It's lucrative, but at the same time, I feel like this game theory has like we're just finding it now, but if you're building it, they can be 5 steps ahead of you in terms of figuring out how to game it, and you might make some money off of it, but you're constantly working against very smart people you know, with AI and algorithms that are working against you. It could be like me funding Bitcoin at the dollar. All the way to $17,000. So I don't listen to work through the game theory of how it can be manipulated against me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's also something that there's a lot of things that can be like that. So at the end of the day, all you can do is try your best.
Yeah, no, Clout was saying that he bought tacos.
Oh, Clout bought?
Yeah, he bought Degen, all these different accounts. So he's like day trading. Trying to make his electric bill.
Nice.
Whatever happened to WorldCoin?
It's still out there. Did I buy some? I think I might have bought some. I don't know what I did with it. I don't know where it's at.
I imagine WorldCoin is going to go through probably an inflationary phase initially, at least, and then dump, and then based on developing narrative.
Yeah.
What's going on, TJ? I think TJ has a question.
Hey, gentlemen. Morning, good evening. Hey, I know zero about Friend Tech, but I kind of was curious if you disconnect your Twitter and nuke your account there, what happens? Is that kind of like
I guess that would be what I was wondering. What happens, like, if you only like, see, I got into friend tech without really thinking it all the way through first, because I hadn't, you know, it had been on for a few hours, so I really didn't go list. I was like, oh, I'll go try this. Someone gave me a code, and like, I only bought one share before there was like a whole bunch of people or bots that bought a couple other shares, and just I didn't bridge a bunch of ETH over because I wasn't sure on their policies on things. So it was just sort of trying it out. But I wonder what happens if I sell my only share. Do I lose access to my own chat?
Can you even sell your own share?
I think so. Maybe I should go
to buy your own share initially.
No, the first share you're given for free. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say the first couple shares is probably the best case scenario, because when I bought some, people started dumping on me when it was higher. So
yeah,
that was a mistake. It's a social experiment.
Yeah, my big concern with FriendTech was that Coinbase was mining people doxing their Twitters to themselves and then selling it to Arkham and making a fucking ton of money off of that.
Well, Arkham, okay. I use Arkham. I was one of their early users, and I went and like identified a bunch of wallets that were hot wallets and stuff for accounts like MEXC, KuCoin, and stuff like that, just because, you know, let other people dox other people's wallets. I won't do that. But a hot wallet, yeah, because that way you can track where like assets are, you know. But Arkham's just running that for free, you know. So now you have, it depends if you're sending it from a hot wallet. But I filled up my base wallet for that from MEXC, you know, because I've been with MEXC for a while, so you know, I don't have to KYC. I'm a level 1, so that means I can only withdraw up to 20 Bitcoin a day. So there's that. That sucks. But yeah.
20 Bitcoin a day is not sufficient.
I know. I feel totally.
I didn't realize MEXC's thresholds were 20 Bitcoin a day. That's crazy.
Withdrawal limit for level 1. I will send. I'll send you a link.
But if you make an account, what kind of information do you have to put in?
Level 1 KYC is a verified email address.
I mean, an email address is pretty close.
Well,
to...
yeah, that's what we're going to leave it at. So, you know, that is a safe, secure AML technique. So, however you choose to verify your email address. What up, Crypto Minute? Welcome to the stage.
Yeah, brother, how's it going, man?
It is going well. We are talking some fun DeFi things. I'm shooting people right now. Oh, what? You're trying to shoot at me? Oh.
Shots fired.
Oh, now you're trying to multi-cocktail me? What the heck?
Oh, shit. I didn't see the live streaming.
Oh, set on fire. I gotta go fix this. Yep. No. So, what I got? I got some BR1 beta codes for my key holders, because
what is this? Doom and Ninja Turtle mix?
This is Bravo Ready. Don't hate on the Bravo
No,
Ready.
I've never seen it, never heard of it.
Yeah, they launched. Oh, I switched over to my bazooka. not my katana. Dang it.
What are you playing this on?
I'm playing this on what is this? This is my Crosshair 17 MSI.
So computer.
Yeah. Here we will. Let's see here. Let's send this. There we go. Here.
Is there any way I can connect a PS5 computer to like a gaming system? PC?
I wouldn't see why not.
You need like an Elgato or HDMI like tuner.
Dustin would be the person to ask on that stuff.
So HDMI to HDMI, Type C HDMI, or is it Type C HDMI to Type C HDMI cord, and then some kind of tuner?
Yeah, there's a like Elgato. It's a video capture card, but they have cheaper ones on like Amazon for like $20, and they're 1080p.
I don't like Elgato. Elgato sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying like to record me playing, but just to connect the controller through, like, can I connect it through Bluetooth or something and play something like this?
Oh
yeah, PS5. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you can sync it. What is it? The option button and the PS button at the same time. I think that's.
Hey, Taco.
Yeah.
I stumbled across TacoBytes for the first time the other day.
Yeah.
Kind of like a partnership in the ecosystem I like. Are you a fan of it? Have you used it? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, Uphold. I've used. What have I done with Uphold? Oh my gosh. I know Uphold.
I mean, yeah, it was just interesting to see that, they're trying to be, I don't know about they said their wallet situation, but by the looks of it, they're, an exchange which is completely against centralized ownership of wallets, that custodialship issue, but full transparency as well, which I think is great.
I don't know much about it. I know the name. I'm trying to think of what I've done with it. I think I follow them on Twitter because they put out something that I liked.
How do I post something to the Nest?
What do you want to post to the Nest?
I think your girlfriend just showed up, Taco.
My girlfriend? I
want to post it to the Nest, but I don't know how. I can't explain it any other way.
I don't think my girlfriend showed up. Where'd my girlfriend show up? What girlfriend? Now I'm lost.
You've lost count, Taco. You've forgotten. You've got too many girlfriends. You've forgotten.
I've forgotten. I've lost count, and now I'm in a room playing hide and seek.
I sent you a picture of her. It might bring back some memories. Just post it to the Nest.
Okay, let me see here. Ha ha ha! Yay! No. Oh, that is fun. No, me and her broke up.
Okay then.
Yeah, me and her broke up. And the reason why we broke up.
Post her to the Nest. Post her to the Nest.
No.
Let everybody see her.
No. This is a recorded space for children. Don't you know? We're supposed to be talking about serious DeFi teaching.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Keep denying it. We all know late night.
Late night is large quantities of bang and
Taco, she says you're denying her love. Just tell the world. Show the world who your girlfriend is. Come on.
No, we can't do it. She's denied. I literally, oh my gosh, no. I have an entire Discord right now hunting me down of beta users. Well, I have like, it's not fair. That is what I have to say. It is not fair right now. And you, sir, are just picking on me while I'm trying to bring in my spinach. Where did he go?
As soon as I do, I'll post this and ask you guys because you see his girlfriend. She's not bad or anything.
The hair is so fake.
Yeah, but all these girls got extensions, dude.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna die soon. Oh wait, no, I'm not.
Once you tweet it, sir, you can, on the right-hand side of the bottom of the tweet, there's kind of like a little box with an arrow upwards, which is kind of like the share icon. Sorry, Taco. And then
But TJ, this is not.
Sorry.
This is not cool.
Sorry, brother. Sorry. Forget I said anything.
If Mystery hasn't been in Twitter this long and he still doesn't know how to post to the nest, it's like that question someone always asks me, am I a degen? And that's what they're like, hey, like I'm like talking to someone, oh, we're gonna go do some degen things. And they're like, am I a degen? Can I come? And I'm like, well, and I'll be honest, I like the person that's asking that question. But then they're like, I'm like, well, are you if you have to ask? That is the question.
I think if they have to ask, it automatically means that they are a degen.
No.
That's the way I would look at it. No?
No, it's. Where'd you go? I just saw you. I think if you have to ask, you're not. You might have degen clevities, degenic consistencies, but if you have to ask.
Nah, it's in the nest. I figured it out.
Oh man. All right. There it is.
Dude, she's pissed.
All right. Well, there's that. The secret is out. Where we got people killing people, and I need to go kill some people. So BR1, the one thing I find fun about it is you pay to spawn and you get paid to kill.
Oh, really? That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So basically, as you
what do you pay, and like how do you pay?
Well, since it's beta right now, we load up your wallet for you with USDC. We give you like $5, and then once we go fully live, it'll be USDC or Sol, but it will be counted as cents. So the conversion will be automatic. And yeah.
And that's on Solana?
The payment methods will be on Solana.
It's just credit your account and shit. That's awesome.
Oh man.
I mean, so that's kind of what I was thinking about earlier with our chat, is especially with gaming. I mean, you think of this variety of like, NFT collectibles, character attributes, blah, 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 blah. I mean, you don't want a public facing wallet where you've got all this crap and I can instantly tell, shoot, maybe I shouldn't fight you, or, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It takes that, I don't know, it's just an interesting kind of...
When you could bet in battles, like you could bet your fake gold, but most people were buying fake gold off of eBay. So that was like the first sort of introduction to digital fake money being worth real money, and then you could like train up your RuneScape guy and fucking, you know, have your angle as like a wizard or whatever, like certain, or archers or whatever, they had certain advantages in terms of being able to be like a low level character. That's cool.
Yeah.
There's strategy to it.
Yeah.
Well, don't lose now, Taco. Your girlfriend's watching, bro.
You posted that picture of the hand. I don't, you know, I don't know if she likes being dogged.
I can't see it.
I totally lagged out there. What happened there? What Teams? Why did Teams try to launch? Screw Teams. Teams sucks. I love Teams. I use Teams for everything. Don't hate on me, Teams. But yeah, it's some fun stuff. We got some fun stuff going on tonight. Let's see here. What are we doing here? Oh, clipping.
Do you see something?
We got some fun stuff going on over here. And so, yeah. Hold on just a second, guys. I will be right back. Problem.
All right, wait. Who here is smart enough to figure this shit out? I want to put it to the mask.
Did you tweet it first? Is the question.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's not going up there. I will make Dustin a co-host, and Dustin will police the heck out of this.
All right, TJ, you know how to pull this off? We're doxing Taco's girlfriend.
I just saw the picture of Taco. What's wrong with that? I think that's kind of cute.
Fake hair extensions.
Wait, were you looking at the same picture? Oh, hold on.
Dude, don't tell everybody she's got a fake hair extension. She's going to be really pissed. Ben!
Nah. Dustin, what have you been doing lately with the star? Krill, did you and Dustin disappear and hit the pipe? So they're getting high. They have medical marijuana licenses. They have medical marijuana licenses. They're in a accredited state where they can do that. And it is one of the fun things.
Yeah, I'm in a state that hasn't approved that shit yet, and I'm trying to get a job, so I'm on the, you know, shit list.
You're on the up and up.
I'm on the up and up, yeah. I'm just getting drunk instead. Come on.
Were you guys talking about Secret when I popped my head in?
Secret?
Somebody said something about it.
Which secret?
Secret Network?
I've talked about Secret Network. I like Secret Network. Let's see.
Taco, have a look at their secret Ethereum. Their new proposal's going through now, so they're going to move out of providing privacy, I don't know what we'd call them, you know, where one blockchain will provide services to another.
Yeah.
And, you know, Secret Network's very unique. They're going to be, I guess, pivoting from Cosmos to Ethereum EVM world. So, yeah, Secret Ethereum, work in progress, looks really interesting.
Nice.
can slap a what do we call it? Viewing keys on my Ethereum wallets. I am going to be a happy chappy.
Yeah.
So,
well, you know what you might like is Railgun.
Does that have viewing keys though? Like I love. Okay, I'll have a look. I mean, I love the idea. You know, like do your taxes, right? But you know, I love the idea of saying to my accountant, "Hey, mate, here's my viewing keys for my crypto accounts. You've got 30 days."
Yep.
Right? And then I destroy them, and then they've got no more access. I just love that.
I'm hunting this monkey.
Oh, and Taco, the bad news.
Yeah.
GameStop
Wait, Telos and GameStop are no more?
Yeah, they're no more, mate. I don't know what the pivot is. Kind of rabbit hole, but yeah, I actually think GameStop.
So I watched that video. Oh god, I'm getting right now. Oh man, I got jumped. Let's see here. What do I need to do? I need to close this down. So I watched that video that you sent me about GUI, and
oh yes.
and so this is the thing that I don't like about like the way they set it up is like if there was a what's the word I'm thinking of? Like an HR, you know, that's who you would dox to, or something along those lines. But you know, I want to dox to people that who knows what they're doing right now, you know. But I don't really find it. You know, I don't like it. I still don't like it. You know, yeah.
I think the outcome, Taco, was they don't care. I think that's what's now being discussed, is that they're like, whatever, right? They've now come back to, if the community votes someone in, right, you just have to say, Taco, for example, that you're not going to be doxxed, right? So it's going to be, that's the way it's going to be solved. So if the community votes you in, you will say, well, you know, you put your hand up, right, Taco, and say, look, I want to be nominated. And then you just need to say, are you going to be doxxed or undoxxed moving forward? And that's it. And then the community decides. So that's the agreement they've now come to.
Okay.
Which I think is good. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did GUI dox?
Oh, excuse me. I don't know, mate. No idea.
Okay.
I think he wanted to anyway, Taco. I don't know if he did to, that board per se. I don't think he did, but he wanted to anyway because he's launching, pretty interesting kind of NFT project. So he wanted to, as a builder, as a dev, as a founder, he wanted to dox anyway. So it kind of really wasn't, I guess, Taco an issue for him per se because he was always going to do it. It was just, as I said, interesting to see, these foundations and what the requirements are. I mean, and again, you kind of think of like, shoot, okay, you're on a board, you're running a blockchain, you're part of a, decentralized autonomous organization, you're in power. Tell me, Taco, I mean, again, think of this, right? What if a 13-year-old gets nominated? Is that okay?
Yeah. Why wouldn't it be?
Well, I'm not saying it isn't wrong. I think it's kind of cool. Like, as I said, I've seen some blockchains, as I said, not permit members to join who are a part of countries sanctioned by the US. You know, and then I just call this isn't decentralized. It's just all those small things, right? Like, you know, you're not allowed to use Uniswap, right? So, you know, I mean, think when legislations, I mean, again, it's a nothing burger, right? But I've just kind of got this mindset of like, I want to also protect. I'm going to sound boring, but what happens tomorrow where, I don't know, all the USDC, all the Tether in, you know, everyone's wallets who are under the age of 21 who have been using Uniswap, everything's locked. Like, that would be shit.
Yeah.
I think it's more just I like everything to be upfront and, you know, let people gauge their risk appetite, you know?
Well,
TJ, you're such a crypto groomer. Come on, bro.
I guess, mate, my experience is like,
I can see that. I can see somebody saying that.
I like that, buddy. I like that. I just, look, my experience with crypto has been a bit of I guess more of an emotional ride, not financially for me, but more like people just bullshitting, right? Like, I want to be here for a long time, not a short time. And, you know, I think honesty, you know, at the end of the day, yeah, sure, we're all gambling, we're all taking risks, but, you know, at least tell me what risks I need to think of, right? And I'll probably still make the same decisions.
yeah.
I don't know.
I think though one of the things that like, see, this is a thing. How can a foundation make its you know, voted upon members doxxed if those that are using the chain aren't? You know, and anyone that tries to hold someone to like, I've been doxxed. I found zero value in it because there was no history behind Steve Smith. No one knew who Steve Smith was. But if I said, oh, you know, I'm player one, you know, and I've done this, this, and this, they're like, oh, wait, I've heard of you. I've seen you somewhere, you know? And so
I'm glad they sorted it out, Taco. I'm glad. But as I said, it was just more that interesting conversations where most people don't see that intricacy of dealings, right? You know, these issues.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I was highlighting it. You know, someone got elected from the community. You know, there was the question of do we dox? You know, this was, as I said, the first person who was not doxed to be voted in. And that's, as I said, where this kind of all stemmed from, Taco. But look, now, as I said, they just wanted, it was just part of the discussion process. And now they've come out the other end and everything's great. But again, it's kind of like, okay, let's look at other foundations. Let's look at other platforms. Let's learn. Let's ask these questions, right? Because they're all really interesting.
And like, you know, like it's oh, there you are.
See, Taco, I'll be honest with you, brother. If for example, so I'm a doctor, but like I would like my opinion, and again, this is like, you know, democracy, right? I wouldn't necessarily vote for someone who is not doxed to represent me and my holdings, right? Because I'd be saying, well, you know, if you want to be the driving force to success, then I need a bit of confidence in you. And, you know, well, what do we also say on the blockchain all the time? Like transparency, right? Well, then shouldn't
then under that argument, shouldn't I know that you and that you're using my chain for the best intentions?
Yeah, that's valid, but I guess I'm not making any financial decisions.
But you're using my chain to, you know, do something horrible with. And so what is going to be on the news? That, you know, Taco's name, your name, or, you know, chain X was used for some insert something horrible, you know?
But look, all honesty, I'd love everyone to be doxxed. If you create an account on blockchain, I'd love you to be doxxed.
Yeah.
Because as far as transparency is concerned on the blockchain, you know what? No, I don't want that
But
world.
bank accounts are.
Transparency is a meme. Transparency is a meme.
I think there should be like a set of triggers where if a majority of people who interact with the same contract that you've interacted with, there should be a set of like dominoes that go off that allow for the doxing of a person. So like, let's say I create some shitcoin and I rug everybody. There should be a set of dominoes of some sort that allows me to be doxed, and based on like the volume or the economic impact of the contract interactions. Like, say I made a shitcoin and I made like $500 from rugging everybody on that shitcoin, right? There should be like a level 1 of dominoes that goes off that it's like, all right, it doxes my email address, or it doxes, and it should be some like, there should be some kind of like template for doxing yourself, like without doxing yourself. So like, let's say I make a hex and it turns into like $50 billion, like, and then I rug that $50 billion project. Your fucking dick pics, like you should have like a platform where it's like, all right, you gotta like dox your dick, you gotta freaking dox your mom's address, like.
But see, that's more data out there that like.
Holders allowed to punch you.
No, but the data wouldn't be released until the community formed some kind of consensus that you were a bad actor up to $1,000 would dox like your email address. If you were a bad actor up to $1 million, it would dox your face. If you were a bad actor up to $1 billion, it would dox like your fucking.
And let me, how would this undoxing be voted on? Would it be voted on with tokens?
It'd be voted on based. No, it'd be voted on based on like the amount of economic energy.
But who would make this vote? And what would stop? Let's say I wasn't a bad actor. Let's say I did make a $50 billion project that was like, you know, legitimate.
Right.
Now, but I was undoxed. How many bad actors do you think would then like take up tokens to try to vote out information on me to try to get a hold of that?
Well, you would think that if you had created something that was good and sustainable, like that, people would want, like people would be, if they had made money or had like accrued economic value.
And how would this stop bad actors to trying to take that from you?
Well, it'd be a critical mass. I mean, I get it. I get where you're coming from, but I'm saying like, and maybe up to a certain extent, like the deployer of a contract could choose what level of doxing, like in this process, they're willing to go through in the event that they is nefarious. But it would have to be almost like a DAO in a sense that would based on sort of a community, like let's say there's 1 million people in the community, and if 60 million people in the community have formed together to say, yeah, you could have bad actors that would try to get you doxed and stuff, but it would take a critical mass or a majority and far beyond that majority. So at 50%, it's like of the community being feeling scammed by you, it would dox the most basic shit. At 75%, it would start doxing like your fucking high school report card. You know, like at 50%, it would dox more. And you could set it up to gain confidence in the community, to like you could use that, you know, as
I will
in a sense.
You can use I will be honest, and this is a hard opinion. You can make the greatest example cases. I would be against this. Any time you put economic power behind someone else's information, it will be abused just for the sake of being abused. Someone just for the fuck of it would abuse it.
I know, but you would have to have the vast majority. And the thing is like in this zero-sum game where I take your money and I give it to somebody else, I take somebody else's money, which is what crypto has been in these pump and dump rugs. Like you could start it out as being like the level of severity of rug that somebody experienced would allow, like, and you would choose as a founder how far you're willing to dox yourself. So you can if this goes to zero, I will give you my email address. If this goes, like you could choose how much you'd be willing to dox of yourself, because it would sort of in a way be a reflection of your confidence in the project. But I understand, like, nobody wants to get doxxed, but like I think eventually we will come to a point where people will be so jaded by shitty pump and dump rugs that there would be some form of like third party that would verify a certain level of requirements, and those requirements of personal information, and those requirements would be released incrementally. It's not like it would be like everybody knows your fucking dog's name if you pump it up. But it's like if everything goes to zero, I'll tell you everything about my life on a gradient based on how confident you are in a project.
Yeah.
Because there's just been so many pumps for so long, like there's got to be some kind of, and not that like the government and big corps don't have that information at the end of the day, because they do. And I think there will be a day of reckoning for whoever has been doing. I feel like there's been like a party or like a government or an organization that has been just on Twitter, just pumping, dumping, hijacking the algorithm, rugging, and there will come a point in time that people demand a certain level of doxing that's triggered if so many wallets come together and agree that they were scammed.
Yeah.
And I think the day will come where, I mean, look, it's not impossible. I mean, I know, we could probably all look at our market is that, it's really not going to be hard for, any particular entity to say, hey, TJ, we've seen you put in $100, right? It's coming from bank account A, and now you're pulling out, $2 million, right? That's a flag straight away. They will then go do their homework and figure out exactly how I made that money.
Like me, I mean, I did well, and I was always like, hey, look into this. It's either the biggest Ponzi scheme in the world, or it's, the next big thing. Because I figured with Ether scam was that there would be a point in time where it's like all of your sins are going to be on display for everybody if you're scamming people, in a sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
But see, it can be like, this is why there's a level of consistency and transparency to to being pseudo anonymous. And so it's how much do you want to trust what you have, and I don't know. You just can't.
But I mean, really, Taco, if you're not buying non-KYC Bitcoin, I mean, everyone's tracing it, whether we like it or not, right?
Tornado crash, it is insanely hard to stay anonymous in any large number if you're rubbing people and shit.
Yeah. But I also think that, you know,
I mean, there's like just projects that fail, and I understand it. There's people who don't understand how liquidity works. You know, they make a project and they own 99% of the coin, and they sell one. You know, they got 1 million coins, and they own 999,000, and they sell one coin to themselves at $1, and $100,000 comes in, and they sell it down to zero. And they don't understand that the market cap being $10 million overnight, or whatever $1 million overnight, $1 million overnight, they don't understand the economic energy that went in is $10 or $100,000, and they just see themselves being naive that the market cap's worth $1 million, and they try to pull out 100,000, and the market cap goes to zero. Like there's naivety, whatever you want, however you say that, and then there's just malicious people who just repeat over and over, knowing what they're doing, you know, scamming people outright.
Scammers for our stupidity need to go. You know what I mean? Like, if we really want these scammers or rugglers to go away, in all honesty, we've got to pull our socks on, right? Like, they're only here because they're making money, right? Like, it's, it's interesting.
I mean, that's what pisses me off, is I'm like, man, if these scammers would go away, the government wouldn't have a reason to just clamp down and rape everybody, and everybody's doxxed, and we're still using Ethereum, and they know everything, and it just, everything sucks. Like, if they weren't for the scammers, there would be no reason for them to regulate as hard as they're about to do, which is what I think is coming, is they're about to regulate the shit out of it. Because they have this track record of scammers. But the scammers probably were their people to begin with. Because if the technology would have just came about organically, and nobody was rugging and nobody was scamming, and something organically became popular and was adopted because nobody was getting scammed, then they wouldn't have any excuse to basically take the technology that they're getting developed for free by the general public and consensus and clamp down, steal it, and then they're still in control. It's even more tyrannical than the Patriot Act, and we just developed, adopted, educated everybody, and they're going to just rape everybody with the technology that we built out after they were the ones rugging.
Yeah.
No, well said. Good, that was a good summary. 100%.
Yeah, thank you for coming from my talk.
It's a very good talk. I like it. You know, and so then the question is, what do we do to get away from scammers? You know, and I think part of it is like learning what to look for. You know,
right. Well, the biggest thing that I see people getting rugged by is exactly what I said earlier, which is, you know, a person makes 1 million supply coin. They own 99% of the coin. They sell 1% of the coin to themselves for $1,000. So now they have $1,000 in a thousand thousands, which means they can sell 0.0. What they can sell 1/1000th of the supply without it completely crashing the price. And people don't understand the sleight of hand that when it comes down to liquidity projects, people don't understand liquidity. And that's the biggest way I see somewhat seasoned, somewhat, educated, like 80% of the scams are probably liquidity scams, because people don't understand that you can't just and the market cap is suddenly, you put $1,000 in as the contract deployer, and you pull out, and somebody puts in, your community puts in 10 grand, and somebody pulls out and tries to pull out $1 million as the contract deployer, and it's worth zero immediately. Like, there's no coming back from that. And I don't think even a lot of these, I think there's a lot of people out there dangerous enough to figure out how to deploy these contracts, people dangerous enough to come up with kind of good game theories or novel game theories, but like the general public, the biggest education gap comes from, like, you can't make a coin that has $1,000 come into it, extract $1,001.
No.
And that's how liquidity works. And that's where the biggest gap is. And I think all of crypto is liquid, and in pump and dumps is the ability to the lack of education and how these automated market makers value these smart contracts, because there's just not enough liquidity there. And that's the biggest thing people get scammed on. And if you can teach people about how liquidity works, how people can sell the coin to themselves, how distribution works, how fair distribution works, you can save a lot of people a lot of heartache by not getting them screwed on coins that are just skyrocketing on super low volume because there's no liquidity and the person's selling the coin to themselves as people come in, and then rugging you on the exit because they're pulling every last red cent that came in out at a certain point in time.
And so what do you think of then, of tokens like Zen?
Zen is the antithesis to basically all of these things, which is Zen is kind of the thing that sort of opened my eyes, in a sense, to the solution to these liquidity sleight of hands and these rug pulls.
Yeah.
The problem with Zen, I think, is potentially, the carrot on the stick being X1, which keeps the whole thing alive. And if that isn't delivered, then we're just in another fucking evolution of pulse chains.
Yeah. I would agree with that. But the fact that they're I remember it took like a year and a half for like test nets to come out with Pulse Chain. And then it took 6 months from test nets to live net. Well, yeah, just about. But so we already have test nets with Zen. I think finding out what works the best for it, so as long as what's really cool is the people that are building stuff out of Zen. They're attracting different people. They're getting eyes in different ways. So it might not be Zen that gets someone in, but it's like the ecosystem of something else that does. And I think that's one of those things that really set the stage differently, and allows Zen to sort of just, we all talk about like, oh, it's free, it's a free token, well, no, you're paying gas, so nothing's really free on a layer 1 or 2. Yes, layer 3s, but it's economic energy still being divined out. Oh, I got a monkey hunting me.
Sorry, you go.
Yeah, I look at Zen like I look at the natives like a Lego or a piece of plastic for building Lego blocks.
Yeah.
And everybody who doesn't understand it is like, oh, you're retards. That was perfectly good plastic until you formed it into this brick with four little circles on the top of it.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? Right? And we're like, well, at least something's being made out of this plastic, which is just recycled junk at this point. So I look at Zen like a Lego coin, or not Lego coin, like a Lego, and all these other things are being built with the Legos, but nobody really understands how things are being built with the Legos yet. The Legos with the structure, it builds some form of solidity to, see what I did there?
Yeah.
It builds some form of solidity to something bigger than just the Lego. And this Lego making machine has got a half-life or like a life of 8 years. And we're sitting here pumping out Legos, and people aren't looking at the shit that we're building with the Legos. They're just saying, those Lego sets are getting really cheap to produce. Why would anybody buy that? And then come 8 years after everybody's built all these structures with the Lego sets, the Lego making machine is going to implode, so to speak. And then everybody who's building with the Legos is going to be scrambling for all the little blocks that have been built. And nobody's going to be able to buy more. Nobody's going to be able to make or mold any more of those Legos. And slowly that, as people build castles or whatever the hell they're building with these Lego blocks, slowly the supply of those Legos is going to slowly, and then all of a sudden very quickly, those Legos, if anybody wants to build something with Legos, it's going to just disappear. And you're going to see the price of those Legos skyrocket.
Yeah. I got eliminated one more. So when I'm hearing this, and this is where, like, I agree with you on a lot of things there. If Legos quit getting built, the Legos that are only out there will get used more. Now, how they get depleted and used, and what their use is for, I think was what will provide value to them. Like if you're using it to provide to transfer data or transfer energy, then obviously those tokens will go up in value because they're trading for more value, and that's sort of where we see the idea of a limited supply. I know there's recent reports that BlackRock recently got itself on $3 billion worth of Bitcoin. So, TJ, I see the hand.
Yep, random thought here. Speaking to kind of, I guess, X1 and Pulse, do you guys have any issues with zero white papers or zero, kind of, I guess, information out to the, I guess, lack of information out to the investor or the public or us. You know what I mean? That's kind of still something that hits home to me, and I've got a problem with. I have a problem with everything, right?
Yeah.
But you kind of know what I mean. Is again, like, we think of the rug pulls and we need to solve that problem, but again, kind of like I mean, when did we stop caring about people not having white papers and plans and roadmaps? I mean, that was really heavy, right, Taco, back in, probably after 2018, 2019, 2020. No one would throw their money near anything that didn't have a white paper, right?
Yeah. No, and that's one of those things that laid a lot of work, where we thought that having a white paper might actually be your downfall at some point nowadays. People.
Or a capped, what do we call it, Taco? A capped, sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
Like, why is there no ceiling to the funding required?
Yeah. It was one of those things where we see, like, and this is one of those things with the sacrifice. It's community laying it out, and so sorry about that. I'm back. No, like almost like a sacrifice, sort of. Was that, like, you sort of think, a community project based piece on that? Um, it was a community growth thing. Did you believe in it? And will you deliver it? And what I like almost with a sacrifice more than a mint, the idea is you have faith in the people you're giving it to, not in what they're building, because the tech could break, the tech could be wrong, and so are you willing to give up something with no expectations? He's been an environmental lawyer. And so it's one of those things to where a sacrifice allows for no expectations. Now, people have participated in enough sacrifices that they hear the word sacrifice, they're like, oh yeah, that's an easy 10x for my money. So it's sort of defeated the terminology of a sacrifice. And that's sort of one of the things that sucks with that, is it's been abused so much, or not abused. It's been used and succeeded so often that people just don't know. And so they get into it. And we see that with Zen too. Zen's like, I sent out 30 Zen NFTs randomly to people because that's what I said I was going to do, because that's what we did with Bitcoin. We gave it away for free. We gave Doge away for free. I gave Doge away to people that made me laugh. I gave 1 million Doge away for a meme. And, it's, yeah.
I mean, if I'm doing a sacrifice for a sandwich, right?
Yeah.
Is it fair that I raise $500? No, I don't think that is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of, again, like something we do need to address. I mean, you look at maybe something like Pulse Chain, probably a good example, whereby if it had a cap, right, we would be seeing a lot more money injected into it and a lot more positive price action.
Yeah.
It's almost just sucked my gut feeling with it all. It's just sucked all the economic energy up, and there's nothing left.
Yeah. I think what you're thinking of there is um, like a capped, uh,
Capital sacrifice.
yeah,
Okay.
and that would be like what, contract based, like it can only accept so much as a limit, and then no one can deposit to it, or but then, like, see, that's not the purpose of a sacrifice. That's a raise. you know a
Yeah,
sacrifice means you don't know what you're going to get, and you don't know, and then the idea is you make do with what you do get, like, um
I
you
think
know
even the word sacrifice, Taco, is again, I honestly feel is just another one of these crypto what buzzwords, right?
well, see,
That's gaming.
I'm gonna be asking for a sacrifice soon. you know
Okay, so why the word sacrifice and why not participate?
because I want someone to give up something of value to them, to someone else that doesn't understand its value yet, and hoping it incentivizes them to come and learn. And so if I'm asking you to sacrifice, so that's what I'm doing with Zen UK. I'm going to be going to the current Zen community, and I'm going to be asking for Zen NFTs of various VMUs. I would prefer non-ETH ones, just because the cost of transferring an ETH NFT versus an AVAX or a Polygon or BSC or a Moonbeam based Zen NFT. That way,
Donation. Is that a good one?
I'm not a 501c3, and a donation would imply that someone is I just want someone to give something up, sacrifice. And it because it may turn out well for someone else. And what if it and it it may incentivize someone to like build something on Zen that never heard of Zen. I'm going to be teaching Zen to 60,000 people, and on average 14,000 people to 20,000 people take the test. And so then let's go with the low ball number of some of the ones I've seen that didn't get any, that didn't have any incentives tied to it. I saw, what's the word? Um, those ones get like 9,000 people taking that test. So let's go that low. I'm going to teach 9,000 people about Zen that didn't know about Zen. And for them taking that test and learning about Zen, they'll be able to use the asset dash economy to grab a loot box to get a free Zen NFT. Now what we're going to be asking for is long-term mints, so that people, but whatever, people can turn in whatever they want. They can donate whatever they want, and that is going to be given away. So there's to someone else. I'm not giving NFTs. I'm not tracking wallets. I'm not giving anyone squat for donating, other than me teaching someone else about Zen. And why? Like, I'm saying that in a mean way, because, but like, everyone expects something from something these days.
Well, they do that. That's because of it's crypto.
Yeah. So how do we onboard new people into the Zen ecosystem?
Well, we should be doing it with our time, right?
Yep.
Really.
So I put
$2,000
of my own money down to secure and build out two learn and earn platforms. I'm going to be working on one on Zen, and one most likely on either a Zen follow-up or the first principles of Zen type of thing.
Can I throw a crazy idea, Taco? You may have looked at this, but originally Crew 3, now Zealy.
Yep.
That may be something you could also look at.
Yep. I know the team behind Zeely. There's also Atlas. There's also, I know the team behind Galaxy as well. But this is the thing. It's going to require the community to send in their Zen NFTs, because these are what are going to be given away.
Oh, got you. Okay, that's fine. That's a good sacrifice then. You know what I mean? Like, I thought you were asking for money or
oh no.
I mean, you should get something for your time.
Well, we're like
what about Zen stakes? What if you made it so that people got, over time, they got smaller and smaller Zen stakes, and so it would kind of be like them mining it with their learning ability. Like over time, let's say you bought $10,000 worth of Zen off the market, and over time, it would be for the first 1,000 people, they would get, X, and then in a logarithmic fashion, they would get less for completing.
But then I would have to pay devs. I would have to build a site. I'd have to build contracts. I'd have to get those contracts audited.
True.
I am taking Web 2 and educating people.
Yeah, no. You could just buy Zen.
Yeah.
You could buy Zen. You could buy 1 billion Zen, and you could say, all right, well, first we're going to take the first 100. We're going to take 10% of it, and we're going to pay it out to the first 1%. Then we're going to take.
Someone's going to say that's unfair, and so what I'm going to do.
You could figure out. Yeah,
I'm not going to make any gamification. I'm not going to. What I'm giving back to the Zen community, there's two things I'm giving back to the Zen community with this. One, teaching 9,000 people about Zen. For the Zen community and those that hold Zen NFTs, they'll be getting gold tier access to the Asset Dash app. So they'll be able to earn themselves via Asset Dash. So yeah, I could be a jerk and just get the wallets of those that donated Zen NFTs and give them gold tier access. But that's a jerk move. If I'm trying to do something for a community, I don't pick and choose. Because if one person sends me one Zen NFT, let's say they have 2 Zen NFTs to their name, they send me one. All right. They gave me half their net worth of Zen NFTs right now. And then let's say there's someone that has 1,000 Zen NFTs and they send me 10. Who went more out of pocket? I'm not going to sit there and I'm not going to create the contract to value that. Because that guy that gave me one that only had 2, I don't know. He might have 70,000 wallets that all have 2 Zen NFTs in it. And so what I'm giving back is to the entire community. And so it will be on the community to support Zenucate on onboarding new people into Zen. Our space, the space, most of the Zen spaces right now are horns, honks, whistles, dings, and FUs. Now, a random person walking into that space. Oh, what's this big space that has 100 people in it? Let me go learn. Oh, what? They're just like some dudes dinging another dude. Some dude's just copycatting what another guy's saying. And then we got some dude calling everyone to, do something to something else that they shouldn't be. That's not a very welcoming space.
I think, Taco, what we need to do with that, and I'm with you, mate. See, I hate soundboards. I think it's the worst. It can go, like Elon can get rid of that bloody thing. For me, it's not an issue. I mean, it's annoying, right? But for me, when I'm working away, other people, I don't feel they're 100% tuned in if we're listening to spaces. It's like background noise. We're just listening to radio kind of deal. But, I'll sit there and I have to pull my AirPods out every 30 seconds for an hour straight. And, adjusting my volumes continuously, it's really irritating. But I think Taco, and maybe we can suggest this, is, you know, someone who's willing to give their time, is that go back to the old days, you know, have a, you know, a Zen Q&A space where, you know, we're not here to socialize, we're just here to hang around, and if someone wants to pop up and ask a question, do so, right? You know, a space where we don't care about each other's weekends. Personally, we need more of that again, I think.
Yeah. It's one of those things to where, all right, these are the steps that I've taken so far for Zenucate, you know, put down $2,000 to buy these 2 spots to get them boosted within Asset Dash. You know, I bought a ledger that I was supposed to use, that I was going to use for something else, but I'm using it specifically and only for this. You know, and that way, the assets that I'm holding until I transfer them to Asset Dash, I can say they are safe. You know, and so I think that too often, you know, people expect something from nothing, and so what I want is I want to teach people that, you know, the best way, you know, the same thing. This is the same thing that was done in Bitcoin, was to give it away, and that that got more people involved in it. Now, if I have a bunch of people that have to come back in like 6 months or, you know, 3 months, they got to go learn a little bit more about Zen to understand what they have. You know, so I think that
This is asset-com.
Yeah. Here, let me hold on one second. I got so if you go to Zenucate, Zenucate's pin post.
Yeah.
I think, let me look at it real quick. Here, you know, I couldn't figure out an image for Zenucate, so I put my face there.
And you're on a boat.
I'm on a boat.
On a boat.
So if you look at let's see, Zenucate, I put a link for Asset Dash there.
Got it.
It's like Zenucate's last post with an invite code.
I'll check it, Taco.
And what's cool about Asset Dash is you can just put in wallet addresses. You don't actually have to connect your wallets unless you want like the benefits. If you just want to do portfolio management, it's great. You know, if you want to get
So
some of the.
Is that the platform you're running the education on?
Yep.
Or is there another platform? Okay.
No.
Because I wouldn't mind doing something similar for my community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and you know, now, something from nothing. What I hope, you know, my something from nothing is, I hope that I'm able to make such an amazing splash in the Zen community with this, and onboard, because all these other projects that are coming out, they're catering to the community that's already here. Now, I'm hoping to expand the community. Now, what I hope to, you know, succeed with this is the aspect of people seeing it and being like, Taco, Zenucate did such a great job. Will you do this for our project? Be like, yeah, sure. So, and then, you know, but at the same time, you know, teaching others how to do it is going to be the funnest part.
Yeah. Taco, you need to put together some sort of like pitch deck where you can maybe combine the likes of Zealy, you know, this other product. Let me scroll back to the page. I've already lost it. Whatever, excuse me, Dash it was, and even, you know, all the other tools out there. You know, Asset Dash, that was the one that you mentioned.
Yep.
Zealy, and you could do some great, work with building communities with those tools. You know,
Yeah,
we really could.
I agree with you.
You need to be on. You need to be on simple space, and just to get the ear of the majority of the community, because I think most of the community feels the same way you do about these spaces, which is they tune in for that, they get their weekly summary, they look at the price, and they leave it alone. So if you can get Simple's attention for the Sunday review, that's got a 2,000 views or whatever. I think that would be the most efficient way to get people on board.
Yep. And so you're gonna see, you'll see less of my account in Simple Spaces, and it's not but more of Zenucate in Simple Spaces, because that's what I'm going to be promoting, and it's going to be on the community to help push this as a success. So in the next day, I'll be releasing the wallet address that people can start sending Zen NFTs to, or Zen Stakes, Zen Stake NFTs. I like Zen NFTs better because there's that visual aspect to them, but some people might have, 10,000 AZen, or, 10 million BZen, or 10 million Moonbeam Zen, or 10 million Phantom Zen. TJ.
I'm community member number 1. Taco, is your wallet a multi-sig?
It is not a multi-sig. It is a cold wallet. It is a ledger.
Got you. I was just kind of thinking of questions that you may be asked. Right?
Yep.
Should it be a multi-sig?
I don't really.
Or does it matter?
The reason I'm not going to go with a multi-sig is because multi-sig Gnosis isn't on every chain, and I would need to create a different vault for each chain.
Got you. Okay.
And so it would be a different wallet address, and so or I would have to import seed phrase multiple times, and by importing seed phrases, there's more chance for error.
Yeah.
And
correct,
so
good point.
Yeah. So I went with a ledger, and now that carries my active ledger count to 4.
Perfect answer, brother. Well done.
So yeah. But that's I think that is going to be the best way to incentivize people, and so I really want to sort of push that forward. But yeah, no, that's
man. It's been nice. It's been nice talking to you guys. I'm about ready to pass out.
No mystery. I understand that. That is the same on this end. So I think we are going to leave here, but how we're going to leave how we always leave. And since you're up on stage, you get to help out with this, mystery and TJ. Mystery, final thoughts and words of wisdom.
Mint that Zen, playboy, yeah.
All right. Mint that Zen. TJ, final thoughts and words of wisdom.
I'm boring. Hardware wallets, period. That's it.
All right. And as always, my final thoughts are expand your communities, get outside your echo chamber, have fun learning new things. You never know what you're going to come across. One of the cool projects that I just came across is Go Devour, which is basically a tokenized version of DoorDash, on-chain version of DoorDash. So I think that's going to be really cool to see that build out. And as always, my words of wisdom are: a closed mouth cannot be fed, and you cannot feed a closed mouth. Meaning, if no one knows you're looking for opportunity, opportunity cannot come a knocking. And if opportunity does come a knocking, and no one answers, it's going to keep on walking. And with that, I normally end with the greatest, worst knock knock joke, and I'm going to, but I want to say, take one more moment. Don't forget your family. Take a moment, tell your family you love them, and I hope everyone has a good night. And with that, we ask for the greatest knock knock joke on the face of the planet. Knock knock.
Who's there?